How's it going, folks? I hope you're all doing well. Got a few parcels coming in the post today, so that was unexpected. Thought it was going to be longer than that. But one of them is the new headlight, so we can have a look at putting that on. I put one on there just as like a temporary mock-up to start with. But quality, pretty crap. Plastic on the back. Absolute jammy bastards. I thought it was going to be metal. Oh well, we'll see how it looks anyway. So there it is. Now the cool thing about this headlight is the indicators are built in, so that's them there. So that obviously means I don't need to have indicators on the front. But yeah, we can have a look and see. There's the clamps. Don't know what they're going to be like. Seem pretty This is why I wanted to use that one that's on there. Maybe I still will, although it is a bit small. The other parcel that turned up sounds like paint, so I'll have a look at that in a sec as well. But just going to pull this headlight off and see what the new one looks like. I may just mount it. See, the weird thing about this bike, I don't know if you can see, these bars they're like sleeves that go over the forks, and they have the headlight brackets attached to them, which is a bit weird, but I think it's going to look weirder if I take them off. I'll do it anyway and try out the new headlight. I wonder if I can just mock it up temporarily. I think they need to come off anyway, which is going to mean pulling off the bars, the top yoke and these sleeves. Great. Make life a bit easier for ourselves. Oh, I need to fix that. That's annoying. That one. Bloody leaking. There we go. Okay. So now we pull them off. Lift that up. And this should just slide out. There we go. God, it looks weird with them exposed. So those headlight brackets clamp over, so we don't need to do that up for now, so it don't all fall apart. I do quite like this design. I mean, you know, they're not proper clip-ons, but how they sit up like this, I mean, it's just weird, isn't it? So obviously that's not how they're supposed to be from the factory, but it's how they are now. Just nip these up, they don't need to be overly tight for now. I'm probably going to have to pull it all apart again anyway. That goes on there. Probably just have to nip them up as well, so they're not flapsing about. I may have to put some sort of a notch on these so that they can't turn. I mean, they do clamp down pretty hard, but just to be 100%, got to make sure it's all safe at the end of the day, don't we? So the way that this thing works, we've got these two clamps that are obviously going to go on those forks there. I guess it doesn't matter which way you have them, so whichever way looks better. They're going to want some rubber. Oh well, they are quite big, so that fits. Oh, it's not great. Get what you pay for, I guess. No, I should have took these bits out. Damn. No, well, if I just clamp them for now, it shouldn't make any damage on there. Don't do them too tight. Bloody nylox. I'm already not a big fan of these clamps. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't want it to look too generic, I guess. Yeah, I don't want it to look like it's just covered in off-the-shelf parts, because it's obvious, isn't it? You can tell straight away when bikes are like that. That's why I made the tail light on that bobber, because all the ones you could buy didn't really do what I wanted them to do, or it didn't have the look that I wanted. So I thought I'd just build one. I think I'm going to have to change that brake line anyway. See if I can get a little piece of braided that will just go straight from there to there, rather than trying to make that work. Right, so headlight, let's see. Good thing about this as well, which is why I went for a bigger one, is it's going to give me somewhere to hide all the crap. Well, I don't actually know what I need yet out of that stuff because I've not been through it. I imagine I'm going to need some of it. God, it's so cheap feeling. Let's get it on, let's give it a chance. See how it could potentially look. To be fair, it does look better already with the bigger headlight. Looks more retro. Oh yeah. Now that's the difference. May even be too big, I don't know yet. Don't half look cool though. We'll see. Don't know, I may even see what the size of the one on the bobber is. Maybe I could swap them over if that one's a little bit smaller. That looks proper old school. We'll see. I think it definitely, whatever I do, it'd need to go back a bit anyway. Sticking out miles. But yeah, there we go. Food for thought. So I just spun the clamps around. They were down here before. I think that's going to work better. I don't know, I'm warming to it. I think it looks pretty cool. proper retro with the massive headlight. One thing I am going to do to bulk up this front end a little bit is put gaiters on here. The forks are a bit pitted anyway, so I'm going to have to try and sand them down a bit. But yeah, I reckon black gaiters, so that will make the forks look a bit bigger, not so spindly. I'm liking it. I've just had a look at a few reference pictures online, and this is the kind of look that the old bikes used to be, with the oversized headlight and stuff, so I think that's going to work. We shall see though. Right folks, so I've just been umming and ahhing on what the next course of action is, and I think it may be time to tear it down. The only real sort of major work I've got left to do is under this rear cowling. I need to put a plate in and then figure out where the battery and all of the wiring and that kind of thing is going to go. But I can't do that till I get the battery, so I know where it's going to sit and that kind of thing. So I think now I'm going to start pulling it to bits. I wasn't planning on doing like a full restoration on it, but it's not in that great shape, so I think I am going to have to pull the engine and pull the swing arm and the wheels and everything, because otherwise it's just, I'm not going to be able to do a proper job. Like the frame needs paint, because it's, you know, it's got rusty bits and tatty bits, it just looks crap. So I think the best thing to do now is going to be to pull the engine, pull the swing arm, the suspension, the whole rear end, to be fair. So the centre stand mounts on the front part of the frame, obviously, so I can leave that on and use that as a stand without any of the back end on it. So should still be able to work on it okay. And yeah, I think that is the next stage, and just start, you know, repairing, restoring, sorting it out. Like I said, this ain't going to be a cut and shut job. It's going to take a bit, which is fine, because realistically it won't go anywhere very quick anyway, so I might as well do a proper job on it tonight. It's always a good idea whenever you're doing something like this, you know, pulling a lot apart. You want to try and put all the bolts back wherever they can go. So like this little engine mount here, you know, I'm just putting it back together and putting all the bolts back in their holes. Just means that when you come back to putting everything together again, that you're not missing anything. So this is the last mounting bolt coming out of here now. I still need to loosen off the chain to be able to get it out the sprocket, but should probably do that first really. This is the point right here where 9 out of 10 of these projects finish. You know, people go in with big ambitions, pull it apart, take the engine out, all of that, put it in boxes, and then that's it. Never gets built again. Ends up on eBay as a unfinished project or whatever, you know. Which is a shame, but I guess people's lives get in the way and that kind of thing. But that's not going to happen here. It's going to be a hell of a lot of work, but yeah, I'm pretty confident that we can pull this off. Bike deserves it. It's put up with my shit for 10 years. It deserves to be reborn into something good. Had to pull the engine though. All this grime and crap in here. It's yeah. There's no way around it really. I wanted to try and avoid it, but after getting it up and having a closer look at it, it's just nah. It's the only way. So at least we can see what we're up against now. Really need to invest in a better compressor at some point. This thing, I mean, it's good, does the job, but when using the buzz gun, it runs out of steam pretty quick. Just need a bigger one. This is why we do the full strip down. Yeah, that central piece there is just seized solid. You probably can't see very well what I'm doing, but I don't want to touch the camera too much because my hands are covered in crap. One swing arm. This is a fantastic piece of kit. This is called a dead blow hammer. What it is basically rubber, but it's filled with lead shot, so when you hit something it doesn't bounce back, so all the beads go down and it just keeps it in place. So it's good for doing things like this when you're trying to beat down on a spanner. This is the bolt that's seized, and this bracket here is what it's attached to. So I'm just going to give it a little soak in WD, see if that goes down into it a bit, and then beat the crap out of it, basically. Right folks, I think we'll probably leave this video here for now. Yeah, productive day. Started the day with a headlight swap, finished it with no bike. But it's the right decision. Got to do a proper job. Otherwise, what is the point? At least you can see where I stand now. I think the next stage is going to be pull everything off this frame, all of these electrics and stuff, give it a wash, degrease it, and see what we're up against. Right, I shall see you all in the next video. Catch you in a bit.